Hi there, it's Sandra here from the WLA on a beautiful winter's day. Blue sky, frosty on the ground, and it's absolutely stunning. I've just taken both Autumn and Buddy out for a walk. All takes infinitely longer than it used to, but it's really lovely. So today's video is all about humility as a leader. And I wanted to share a few thoughts about this. We were talking about it as a team, especially with some of the leaders that we come across and some of the inspiration that we receive. And I was thinking about what is so compelling about a humble leader, forget my words out. And I think there's a number of traits that I believe we're seeing this shift in organisations to embrace a very different style of leadership, especially as we come out of COVID. We've been talking about our International Women's Day conference, which is all about the future of work and the impact on leadership, especially as cultures are changing and the need for hybrid work, etc., is requiring a different way of being. I think it's a huge shift we are going through, and I believe we can all have this empathetic, this humble style of leadership. And I just wanted to give you a few thoughts, I guess, about what it is. And often humility can be confused with somebody who doesn't have a lot of confidence, and I don't believe that is true at all. Humility in leadership doesn't mean that you aren't sure of yourself. What it actually means is you're very sure of what you're great at, but your blind side is where you avoid. So you know what you're not good at as well, and you don't try to step into that space. And it's easy, isn't it, as leaders? I've been coaching somebody recently who she's absolutely awesome. She really has got some fabulous traits, but she does have a tendency to get involved in everything, partly because she so desires to help and support people. And we need to get the courage and the confidence within to know what the boundaries are, and to know that allowing others to flourish, to make mistakes, is important, really, as a leader. And we also a humble leader doesn't mean you don't have any ego. And often I hear people talk about we have to get rid of the ego, and people who've got a big ego, they're very abrasive and aggressive in organisations. Now, I don't think that's necessarily true, because I think our ego is there to help us steer a course and to help us make solid decisions about what we want. And it's important that we know who we are and know what our strengths are. But bringing that humility means being a bit more open, being a little bit more vulnerable, admitting when we get things wrong, admitting when we don't show up as well as we could, admitting when we make wrong mistakes. I had a situation this week where that happened to me, and I beat myself up a little bit about it. And it's a big learning. Whenever I feel emotionally triggered by something, then I'm out of my flow, and there's a learning to be had. And it's really important, again, to recognise, admit that, share that, ask for help, which I have done, and ask for some guidance as well about what you could do differently if it were to happen again. And I think the leaders who can show up in that way, that haven't always got the answers. Some people believe leaders, because of the fact they are a leader, need to have all the answers again. That's not quite what I mean, but are able to make the decisions based on the right facts, and that's why they are in the role they're in. And actually, it isn't about that. The greatest leaders are those that inspire people to find their own pathway, to find their own way through the mud, and to and give them the ownership and accountability to do it. Now, it's not easy. I know that. I'm continually learning and evolving as a leader, and I'm working with different coaches to help me be the best I can be, and to help me through and navigate some of the trickies that come along. But I still believe, for me, the most inspiring leaders are those that are very humble. I had a conversation this week with a wonderful individual. I'd not met her before. We were sort of introduced by referral. She's a chief of staff for an organisation, and we connected so deeply. It was incredible, and her heart was huge, and she was mirroring the organisational values. She shared them with me. She shared the CEO's vision and values, and it was really touching for her to talk about the importance of making a difference in society, about seeing ourselves as just a small part of a bigger ecosystem ecosystem, and we need to find a way to collaborate within our organisations, but also to start collaborating outside of our organisations. That's where the innovation will come. And I'm on a rant now, aren't I? I was really taken when I was at the CBI conference a few weeks ago by a member of the board at Pfizer who talked about the CEO saying, coming into the room and saying, we have to shortcut our vaccine process. You know, it takes 9 years normally, 9 years for a vaccine to be approved. And he said to them, we've got to do it in 9 months. And of course, the team and the colleagues in the room said, that's impossible. It cannot be done. And he said, we have to do it. And they came back and they said, we can do it in 3 years from 9, which is phenomenal, isn't it? I mean, that's phenomenal. And he said, it's not good enough. So they went away again and they came back again and said, we can do it in 18 months. And he said, it's not good enough. It has to be 9 months. And we came back and said, we can do it. Fundamentally changed. They got rid of processes and bureaucracy, and they all gathered around a cause. It was multiple stakeholders from multiple organisations that really got behind that, and it just showed the power of belief, the power of pushing people to see something bigger and find a way to make it happen. And I loved that story. I thought it was brilliant and beautiful, and we can all learn a lot from that, can't we? Because we can get stuck in thinking things have to be the way they've always been, and it takes a real great leader to step around that, beyond that, to see a different perspective, and to establish belief in others, to own that, and to do that he came very much from his heart. Absolutely he did. He was so compassionate about what are we going to do for the world, you know, and him and the team made it happen. So there we are. That was a bit of an old rant, wasn't it? So I guess the thing is, what can you do? And I would encourage you to think about when are you opening up to your colleagues, to your peers, to your team? When are you sharing some of your vulnerabilities? When are you saying, actually, I need some help? When are you admitting you've got it wrong? When are you saying, I've got a vision, but I have no clue how we're going to make it happen? And when are you enabling that collaboration to take place, to bring the multiple strengths of people you have around you, and to help all of you create a better world? That's it. That's all I want to share. Have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend, and look forward to seeing you soon. Oh, and if you do like these videos, please like and please subscribe. I'd love to get some of these messages out if they resonate to more people. So thank you ever so much. And as I say, have a great rest of the day.